Video games, when done exceptionally well, are my favorite form of immersive storytelling. The medium lives and breathes by allowing the player to become whatever they choose to be, whether it's a space marine, superhero, adventurer, space marine, plumber, 50 Cent. The possibilities are endless. But the difference between a mediocre game and an exceptional game is the lasting feeling given to the player at the end of the experience. And for some reason, the games that have had the biggest impact on me are the Guitar Hero and Rock Band series. I think some of it comes from the fact that being a rock star is a lot closer to reality than becoming a space marine or 50 Cent. But these games give everyday people a chance to live out their inner rock star aspirations. Music games have an incredible influence on me personally and are really a special time in our culture for both music and gaming, showing how far we've come. I have so many distinctive memories of playing Rock Band, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. Bam! 2007, I'm at Sam's Club with the fan when I see a large plastic guitar dangling from the top of one of those new HD TVs everyone's talking about. I pick it up and get the gist pretty easily. It's pretty much like every other rhythm game I've played before, except for some reason it's just way cooler. A few weeks later, the same plastic guitar starts showing up at friends' houses and birthday parties. And even though we would only play the same 3 songs we actually knew, it was still like nothing I had ever played before in a video game. Sure, the controller was a big stick, but the animated crowd going wild and the early mocap band playing off the music was extraordinary. And the ending words that play after the song that says, "You rock," gave me a sense of glory like no other game I had played before. You see, being the nerdy skinny kid, most of my knowledge of rock and roll came from my parents or the very few songs I actually knew. I truly felt like a rock star, even though I was just clicking buttons. Yet Guitar Hero sparked something new in me. I know now all these types of bands that I would never have learned before. Remember, this was back in the day when you had to individually buy songs on iTunes. Or you can use LimeWire. And come on, there's no way to think about Through the Fire and the Flames without connecting it to Guitar Hero. With today's games like Dark Souls, Cuphead, and Co-op, nothing compares to playing this Dragon Force song on Expert. 2008, I'm back at Sam's. I look over and what do I see? Oh, where's the Guitar Hero? Rock Band shows up. It's got all the instruments. Now the whole band starts showing up at parties. Guitar Hero makes their version of Rock Band, and this pretty much sets up the staple in the music gaming genre. The music industry begins to see the potential in this. Pretty soon into the process, rock stars of all generations begin to appear in the games, especially in Guitar Hero. Now you'd be able to play with or as Jimi Hendrix, Hayley Williams, Slash, Sting, Johnny Cash, Travis Barker, and of course, Ozzy Osbourne. For some reason, the 2008 motion capture in these games really creeped me out, but to this day, the most creepy is the Ozzy Osbourne mocap in this game. It's just... Soon, record labels and marketing companies start to get interested in this. I mean, who can forget the Risky Business parody commercials? These were staple advertisements for every March Madness and American Idol commercial break. But it's all about the spin-off titles that gets really interesting. Aerosmith gets a game. AC/DC, Green Day, Van Halen, Lego, the list keeps coming. Now, personally, I love the insanity and rock and roll spirit of the Guitar Hero series, but I think I definitely prefer the user interface of Rock Band. The plastic instruments for this series were way cooler, and they were based on real instruments, and the overall gameplay for Rock Band is just so much smoother than Guitar Hero in my opinion. Even though the songs lists are pretty much the same, Rock Band slowly became the winner. Now, the 2 spin-offs of these band-specific games that I love the most are Guitar Hero Metallica and Beatles Rock Band. Metallica was so much more epic and intense. It came with this extra kick pedal. This was an incredible blast to play with friends. Now, Beatles Rock Band still has a cultural impact on the gaming world as we know it, and it's one of the most accessible games for the entire family. Maybe besides Wii Sports. No other rock band has this much iconic imagery, song variety, and a die-hard fan base. It doesn't have the widest selections of songs for a game, but it really gave the Beatles an extra cultural boost. However, this is right around the time when the music game genre began its decline. Months later, we began to see many knockoffs hit the shelves, and it seems like everyone and their grandma is excited to get in on the action. Of course, there were games like Rocksmith that use a real guitar, but in order to make these games more approachable for all audiences, we began to see games like DJ Hero and Band Hero show up. Now, don't get me wrong, DJ Hero is a lot of fun with its cool controller and songs, but it was lacking originality and was definitely trying to gain in on the more casual family fan base. Same with Band Hero, which had Taylor Swift in it. And that's about it. Now, Rock Band and Guitar Hero definitely began to have an identity crisis in the early 2010s with unfocused titles and lacking in good marketing. So with the music industry as a whole changing, with streaming platforms on the way like Spotify and Apple Music, it just felt like the plastic instruments began to live their lives in the attic. By 2015, when it seemed like the genre had no hope, Guitar Hero and Rock Band both put out a new title. Guitar Hero switched the formula up all on its head with a live filmed audience, and Rock Band stuck to the roots with all new songs. Both of these games were actually really fun, just they weren't able to sell as well as the previous titles. Every now and then, news outlets will ask the question if rock music is dead, and while it's nowhere near as popular than before, there's still fantastic artists making great music out there. I'm just not sure it's at the same cultural center that it was in the late 2000s where you could build a whole video game off of the genre of music. I still grab my plastic guitar from time to time just to see of how great the experience was and how it made me feel when I was young. And there are only a handful of games out there that really have the same impact on me as Rock Band. Honestly, if it wasn't for these video games, I probably wouldn't have gotten into playing real instruments or would have had started my band in high school. Heck, even Post Malone, a multi-platinum selling artist, credits Guitar Hero as his big inspiration to getting into the music scene. So, Harmonix recently just announced their new DJ mixing game called Fuser, and I'm actually really excited for it. It looks exactly what DJ Hero should have been by allowing the player to seamlessly change the track in exciting and fun ways to mash up their favorite songs. Hopefully, Fuser will be able to inspire players in the same way that Guitar Hero and Rock Band did to me, giving the sense of accomplishment and rock star ability that only music gaming genre can really do. So, until Fuser comes out, let's all be able to enjoy the music games that came before it and find what made them truly special. That, or, we could all learn to play real instruments.